So what's going on, guys? It's Corey from My Roxy Nation 87. Today is not the video that I wanted to make. It's the video that made me just say, screw it. Before we get into that, I own a 1987 RXZ L1 6.2 supercharged. It's a little video clip. We're going to get into that in a second. I also own a 1999 2000 Mustang. You can see, follow it. It's going to be a Coyote swap. Before we get into that, some parts that came in. One, this solid isolator. Two, there's this. Like I got for that right there, the same thing. Also wanted to let you know the water pump is here for the LSA as well as the gasket as well for the LSA as well for the front timing cover. But anyway, why is this up in the air and up on jack stands? I'm going to tell you that, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you right now. So as you're watching, because of this, I came up with my decision. Listen closely. Here is a bolt loose in the transmission. Remember what happened? There's a clip right here. Well, that same exact problem happened yet again. Just wanted to see something real quick. Before you know it, was like, and I heard that rattle. It wasn't spinning. At first, I was like, oh great, the LS2 grenaded. Let me jack it up in the air to make sure that that didn't happen. So rest assured that I jacked it up in the air. As you see here, the bolt here came loose again. I'm getting tired of this bolt type thing problem, so I'm going to be looking for new bolts to hold the McLeod clutch, the hydraulic clutch. The McLeod, for some reason, it's McLeod's alright, but the bolts that came with it, I guess, are faulty. Second time that's happened, so I'm going to find some ARP bolts. I was trying to do this first drive on this engine, but that's not going to happen. Because I have to put this back on the ground, and then I have to go in the back and then I have to jack the back up. Disconnect the drive shaft so I can slide that back. So I might just keep that in the air. So I can jack this side, get underneath it there and push the transmission back and disconnect that. If I have to do all that and still connect it to get it where it's running and driving, I'm gonna be in the same situation as I am with a bad lifter. I'm just gonna go ahead and LSA swap this now.
It's about to go down.
Oh, the LSA swap begins now. And there's no more waiting for the fuel pump to get here, because I was just about to order the fuel pump, but something told me just try it one more time. And I'm glad that happened, because I'm glad it happened now, because who's to say if I got the new fuel pump and it's running, so I take it for a first drive, and that happens, and my car completely stalls out and I can't turn it on, and it has to be on the tow truck in the middle of nowhere. I'm glad that happened now. Sadly, I wanted to get this driving. I was, put it to you this way. The only thing that needed to be done, do this, the brake line, because I wanted to wait for a little bit, put this gasket back on for the rear end and fill it back up. I'm ready to go. However, this problem has been happening again, and that was the second time this happened. And not to mention, this is a lifter problem. In order to change these lifters, in order to fix this lifter problem, I'm going to take the cylinder heads off. I'm going to take the intake manifold off. And I got to take the accessory drive off. Why do all that work inside the car when I can do it outside of the car? I got to move the harness around. Because I probably would have to take the harness back out. Not unless I find some way to feng shui and work my way around it. This has to come off because I have to keep going up and down. But this has to come off, but this is connected to the head. This has to come off. This bracket has to come off. That would have to come off. This would have to come off. Harness would have to be moved. Fuel lines would have to come off. Intake manifold. And headers would have to be unbolted. If I'm going to do all of that anyway, why not I just swap in the LSA? You don't have the lid. By the time it's swapped, I'm gonna wait for a little bit. If it still doesn't come in, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just say this right now. I'm gonna run the LSA NA for a little bit with the cam until the lid comes in. Now that you think about it, I say exactly what I'm going to do, because this engine, I want a new intake anyway. Intake that I have in mind, all I have to do is buy an adapter plate for the LS3 intake to adapt onto the LS2 headset, so it's in the back. All I have to do is find an adapter plate. That's exactly what I want to do, because once I have the supercharger, then I already have the intake manifold that I need, and I could take the intake manifold off of the supercharger, off of the LSA, and I can put it on the LS2. That is this intake right here. That's the intake that I'm going to use for the LSA engine if the lid does not come in. The first drive will be on that. Right now, it will probably be a 6.2 NA LSA. It will be a cam that you've seen, of course, you've seen the last video of the lifters. Me installing them is going to be in a other video. I have the satellite slide. I'll have that. Finish tearing this down. I'm gonna finish tearing this down. I'm gonna take the intake out, and I'm gonna take the accessory drive apart until I have all the parts for the LSA right. Hold on, this is my plan. Hold on. All right, so this is my plan as far as the LSA goes. Right there. I don't know why I don't work this. The accessory drive I'm gonna take off. The intake I'm gonna take off. The belt I'm gonna take off. All this stuff I'm gonna take off, and I'm gonna leave it off. Last Wednesday was the last time that you heard this thing start. Next time you hear this car start, it is going to be on the LSA engine. I might throw some old videos of this starting. It's time to say goodbye. It's never a right time to say goodbye. So it's never a right time to say goodbye. That's the title. This is going out This is going in as of now.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
I'm going to skip the fuel pump because I really won't need a fuel pump when nothing is running. So I'm just going to gather the parts, wait till a lot of other parts come in for this, and fix that as I go behind the scenes. As soon as I have that off and everything is on there and everything is right, bringing the heads, bringing the supercharger, bolt on the heads first. Take that apart there, pick this up, probably put that right there, pick that up, put it in there with the harness and everything else. So that's the plan. I'm swapping it now. The swap begins now. Kind of hard to do this around with 3 jobs, but the swap begins now. So on my days off, I'm probably going to get up around like 5:30 in the morning and get started on this. Work till sundown, so we get the Iron God light there. Next video after this should probably be a big part reveal, along with me prepping this up. Because I'm going to work on the bar, I'm going to push the bar up here. I'm already going to get started on that now. A lot of things I'm going to get started on. It's going to start now. Like I said, I'm going to pull the transmission out, and I'm going to connect it right here. Lower this side down so I can swoop that back in and then jack it back up. Work underneath and connect the drive shaft to the end of the transmission there. So that's it. That's the name of the plan, and then that's exactly what's going to happen. And I'm not going to show you, but the heads are pretty much done being polished. The supercharger is pretty much done. So this swap should be happening pretty soon, like within what, the next week or 2 weeks, maybe 3 at the max. I gotta buy engine hoist so I can bring the engine hoist and then so I can drop that in. That's why another reason why this has to move. So I'm gonna bring the engine hoist and drop that in. Get the transmission. So yeah, guys. Wasn't expecting to do this now, but it is what it is. This intake though is still staying on the LSA. I mean, this is going on the LS2, but when the LSA supercharger, when I finally have the lid, I might have to settle for a CTSV lid. This is back order. It's killing me every time I look at it. The date keeps going up and up and up and up, and I'm like, I'm about to just. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I think I might go with a CTSV lid for the time being and run it like that until I can upgrade to the ZL1 lid. But we'll see. I don't know. There's a lot of things that was going on at once. But this, I'm buying another one of this. It's going to be a little bit bigger. The bigger version is going to be for the LSA, which this part is going to come down here, which is going to be like, it's going to be on the side of this. And the same thing on there, so it's going to be a bit of a longer thing. It's going to pretty much going to cover the car. It's going to come down there, and then it's going to come over here. So it's going to cover the whole entire car to be a true dual cold air intake with true cold air, bringing it up. But yeah. All right, guys. I was so close. So close. Like I said, I was so close. Couldn't get that clutch. That clutch, man. And when the clutch is installed. Yep. So yeah, this is not the video that I wanted to make. So if you like this video, please give this video a big thumbs up. If you enjoy the content, let me know. If you thought this content was kind of boring, let me know as well. I don't know. But give it a thumbs up and comment down below if you're happy to see this LSA swap take place. This LSA swap is going to happen pretty quickly. Alright guys, so with that being said, follow God. Without God, none of this stuff is even possible. Be sure to keep it TZ all the way to the end. Take care. Have a great day, guys. Before we end the video, one quick thing that I reminded myself. This is the old harness right here. And where is the other harness? Here's the other harness. This goes into here. So all I gotta do is just whatever wires come to here, splice them together, goes into here. This one right here goes directly in there. Everything is pretty much connected all in there. So I was trying to do this after I have the mod that I'm looking at doing. So it's easy slip. I might have to buy that mod. So it might be 3 or 4 weeks because this mod I need to get. I want to put this mod in there before I even put this in here. This has to go in here first. And to figure out what it is, you're going to have to stay tuned because I'm going to have to buy this mod. So once you see the video of what I'm going to put in, you know this is going to be the next one. That's going to be the exact next video after you see this mod coming in. So just let you know that.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.